Hey guys, it's Lolo here. So today I just received my not polished monomer. So I am trying it out and I'm gonna see how this monomer works for us. Okay guys? So far the monomer is performing really well. It's very predictable, and so you can predict the powder to liquid ratio, which is a good thing. So I just got it today. This is, by the way, a not polished monomer along with nude panther. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a simple nude set today, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to do 1 bead and 2 bead applications. Okay, how's everybody doing today? You guys doing all right? Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just trying it out to see the consistency of our monomer here, and I might say I like it. I like how the consistency of the powder to the liquid. There we go. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and continue here. I just the first nail is just to test out the monomer. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a 2-bead application today. Okay. Here we go. Hey, Alex. Hey Kitty, hey Christine, how are you guys doing? Hey Jai. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you guys how to do the 2-bead application, okay? So right now I'm using a new not polished monomer. I'm just going to wet the powder, I'm going to wet the nail bed really quick. I'm going to go grab my first bead here. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to hold it in there for about 4 seconds. There we go. And I'm going to drop it right here and let go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep sure that my powder is right in the middle. Keeping it in the center. There we go. Okay. And then once my powder is starting to dry a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and start blending it from the side here. And by the way, I'm just using the tip of my brush here, you guys, because the powder is still kind of pliable and a little bit more soft. So I'm just using the tip of my brush, because what happens if I use the body of my brush, a little bit harder than the tip, and what's going to happen, we're going to end up smushing the powder on the sidewall here. Okay. So usually for this length, I only do a 1-bead application, but I want to show you guys how to do 1 bead and 2 bead application. Okay, so right now I am doing a 2 bead application for you guys. Usually when I do a 2 bead application, I do it about on a medium long and XXL. But this is, for me, this is considered a medium. So, you know, I can do a 2 bead, and also I can do a 1 bead application. It's just up to you. Okay, we're gonna see if I can zoom it in real quick. There we go. So that's the first bead. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab a second bead here. I'm gonna drop it right here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my cuticle, make sure it covers all my cuticle from the sidewall to the top. There we go. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it. There you go. Same thing, we're gonna do a 2 bead application next one for you guys. There we go. I'm gonna wet my nail bed here really quick. I'm gonna grab my bead. I'm gonna let it dry. All right, here we go. Now, when I drop my first bead for a 2 bead application, what I usually do is I drop it where my stress area is. Okay, guys. If you guys don't know where the stress area is where the tip and the real nail bed meet. Okay, because 90% of the time when the nail breaks, it breaks on that area. Okay, so that's where you want the apex, and that's where you want your nails to be the thickest. At the same time, you don't want the cuticle area and the free edge to be thick at the same time. Okay, make sure the cuticle area and your tip is a little bit more thinner, so that way when you grab stuff, it's a lot easier to grab. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how the nail tip supposed to look like. Okay, so here it is. It shouldn't be thicker than now. Okay, so there's gonna be a nail tip here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my second bead here. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry for about a couple seconds here. Here we go. Oops, I just dropped it. I'm gonna go grab another bead. So here we go, guys. All right, I'm gonna drop it right here. All right, pay attention, guys. Here we go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use the tip of my brush to push it alongside my cuticle, okay? So if you guys are wondering how the heck Lolo get all those nails and how he get those powder close to the cuticle, this is how I do my application, guys, okay? There we go. Okay? And if you guys have any questions about the products and how can you buy the products and things like that, just go ahead and shoot me a DM, okay? Just go ahead and shoot me a DM and I will tell you where to get it. And also shoot me a DM and I'm gonna tell you all my upcoming classes here. I got about 4 classes scheduled right now. So go ahead and shoot me a DM if you're interested, okay? Here we go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do a 1-bead application this one for you guys, okay? So we already did a 2-bead application. I'm gonna do a 1-bead application in here, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to wet my surface. There we go. We will grab me a bead. I'm gonna let it dry. Okay, here we go. And then I'm gonna drop my bead where the stress area is, guys, right here. I'm gonna hold it there for about 2 seconds. Here we go. Okay? As you can see, the liquid does not run at all. It's not runny at all. If you use the not polished liquid with not polished powder, you don't have to worry about too much running, okay? Now, I got that apex going on right here already. So what I'm gonna do with the 2-bead is, I'm gonna go ahead and start blending it in down. I'm gonna blend it down, so that way I get that nice, smooth apex there, okay? Remember guys, if the nails is short, you don't need to have too much apex, okay? Because what's gonna happen, if you put too much apex in a short to medium nails, it's gonna make the nails really, really bubbly, okay? You only put higher apex on the longer nails, guys, okay? The longer the nails, the higher the apex. The shorter the nails, you want it to look more natural, okay? So don't get those two confused. I know a lot of people are worrying about the apex when they do a short nails, okay? So guys, if you're doing a short nails, you don't need a higher apex, okay? So just keep those in mind. So don't get bent up in apex, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna take care of that side right here real quick too, and just like that, I'm gonna push it in the cuticle area, and then I'm gonna blend it in. There we go. There you go. Okay. So that's how I do my 1 bead, and after this, I'm gonna show you guys how I shape. Okay. Here we go. Hey Jennifer, hey everybody. I'm sorry guys, I know it's been a while since I did some live here, so now I have a little bit of time, so let's get this cracking, okay? So here's a 2-bead application for you to start your day. Here we go. I'm gonna grab my bead. I'm gonna let it drop for about 3 to 4 seconds here on my mat, and then I'm gonna drop it where I want the apex to be, which is right here, okay? As you can see, the monomer, the not polished monomer, it just holds the powder in place. It doesn't run, okay? So that way you can mold the powder you bead according to the shape that you want, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna do a 2-bead application and using not polished monomer and a nude panther, you guys, okay? Here we go. And by the way, I'm using a number 14 brush, and as you can see, my brush is uncrimp, okay? So it just depends, you know. Some days I use a crimp brush, some days I use crimp brush. It just depends on my mood. So today I feel like using an uncrimp brush. All right, so there's the first bead. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab the second bead here. Here we go. I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna drop it right here. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take care of my side bow along with my cuticle, just like so. And boom. Okay, there you go. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend the rest into the nail bed here. Here we go. And then just blend the rest of the nail bed. Okay guys, so here it is. So again guys, there's not a lot of apex in this nail. It's because her nail is not that long, okay? You don't want to put too much apex in the short nails, okay guys? So keep those in mind. All right, here we go. So again, let's go ahead and we're gonna do a 1-bead application since it's a very small amount area here. I'm gonna wet the surface really quick. Here we go. There you go. I'm gonna go grab my bead. Okay, I'm gonna drop it right here where I want to be my apex is, just like that. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tilt my finger down and making sure that my powder is in the center, okay? There we go. Guys, again, I'm just using the tip of my brush right now because my powder is still a little bit wet. Now, there we go. Now I notice that my powder is starting to dry. That's why I'm gonna start to manipulate it towards the apex. I'm sorry, towards the free edge and blend the rest in. Just like that. So just keep blending the side, okay? What we're trying to do here, we're trying to accumulate as much powder as we can in the middle, so that way we get that nice C curve later at the end, okay? There we go. There you go, guys. Okay, so that's a one bead application. All right, here we go. And again, I'm gonna do another one bead application here. Hey Lucy, hey Chong, how are you? Hey Sally, hey Florence, Jennifer, how are you guys doing? All right, let's go ahead and do this. Here we go. I'm gonna go grab my bead. I'm gonna let it drop a little bit, and here we go. I'm gonna drop it right here. I'm gonna let go. Tilt my finger down. Keep my powder in the center. Take care of my cuticle area. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending it in, okay? There we go, okay? I'm gonna start blending from the side first. So that way I don't make sure that the top of my nail bed is not flat, okay? So I'm gonna blend the side first to create that C curve. And then once I feel like I can start to blend on the top, I'm gonna go ahead and start blending the top here. So just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blend the top right now. I'm gonna cut it. There we go. I'm gonna clean the side. There you go, guys. All right. So that's a one bead application. When I do a one bead application in the short nails, I drop my bead where my stress area is. Okay. So you guys know where the stress area is. Okay. So if for those who doesn't know where the stress area, and for especially for the new beginning nail tech, I'm gonna show you guys how I divide my nail bed here when it comes to zone, okay? So that way you know where to drop your bead and where the nails to be the thickest and where the nails to be the thinnest, okay? So there we go. Okay guys, let's talk about zone here. So from here down, it's gonna be our zone 1, okay? From here it's gonna be a zone 2. From here and here is gonna be a zone 3, okay? So if you put your brush right here, that's gonna be our zone 1. So this is where you want to be the thickest, and where you want to be the thinnest here and also here, because when the nail grows, you don't want to have a big hump right here, okay? And also you don't want to be very thick in this area, because if this area is thick and this area is thick, when it grows, you get the big hump, and then when this area is thick, it's hard to grab things, okay? You cannot grab things when the tip is really, really thick, okay? So here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wet my surface, okay? I'm gonna do a 2-bead application for you guys here today. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go grab my bead. Here we go. I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, and I'm gonna drop this bead where on this zone 2, right here, because this is where I want my powder to be thick, okay? I'm gonna hold it like that. And what I'm doing right now is I'm keeping my powder in the center, so that way I don't have to clean the sidewall later, okay, too much. And then once I get that taken care of, I'm gonna blend the side, so that way I don't lose the powder in the middle of my nails, okay? So pretty much we're making that little triangle right there. That's how you get that nice C curve, okay? And now once the powder is starting to get harder, I'm gonna go ahead and start blending from the top, you guys. Okay guys, if you practice smoothing out the nail bed with your brush while the powder is still wet, you don't have to drill too much later, okay? So now, a lot of people say, okay, I want to be fast when it comes to doing nails. You can be fast. The start is you can start learning by practicing your powder to liquid ratio, you guys. It sounds weird, right? Now, if you practice your liquid to powder ratio, you lay the powder perfectly, and when you lay the powder perfectly, you can blend the powder to the nail bed a lot better and along the cuticle, and you can make your bead and the nail bed really smooth. Now, if your nails are really smooth already, you don't really need to use your e-file that much, okay? All you need to do is to clean around the cuticle and shape the nails a little bit, and you can literally just buff it if you want to, really, okay? As long as your powder to liquid ratio is good and you prep the nails really well, you don't have to worry about your nails doing all that stuff, okay? So here it is, okay? So again, I don't have a lot of apex in here because this is just a medium nails. I only do a higher apex on the medium long to XXL. Okay, so here it is. Hey Glow Love, how are you? All right, here we go again. So I'm gonna wet my nail bed here. I'm gonna grab my bead. Here we go. By the way, this is Nude Panther that I'm using, and I am trying out this our new monomer from NotPolish, and I must say that I really like this monomer. It's because the reason being is this monomer is very, very predictable. So that means it's good. When you can predict your product and your tools, it can work better because you don't get side blinded with last minute problems. So this monomer is really well, and as you can see, guys, see that it's not dripping at all. You can mold your bead. You can mold your bead. You don't have to worry about chasing your bead on the nail bed, like folding in, and tilting it down. This one, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't dry as fast, and at the same time, it doesn't dry out on you, and at the same time, it's not runny at all. So, if you guys are in the market for a new monomer, and especially if you use a NotPolish product, I would highly recommend this new NotPolish monomer that we have here. All right, so let's continue here. All right, I'm gonna go grab my second bead here. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna let it drop a little bit, and here we go. I'm gonna drop it right here. Okay, now I'm gonna use the tip of my brush right here to go around the cuticle. Now you guys don't have to push too much, okay? All you have to do is tap the edge of that bead towards the cuticle, and then you can go ahead and blend it in, okay? There we go. Now, let's talk about this brush really quick, okay? By the way, this is a brush from NotPolish, the number 14 I'm using. And right now, this brush is on crimp, okay? Now, if you guys look in a brush, the brush, it curves like this. See how it curves like that? So when I drop the bead, I'm gonna show you guys here in a little bit. The reason why I'm showing to you is I'm gonna show you why that curve is there, okay? Here we go. And you can use that curve for your advantage as well. Here we go. I'm gonna drop my bead here. Here we go. I'm gonna drop it where my stress area is, just like that. I'm gonna keep it in the center. There we go. There we go. See, you guys, it's not dripping at all. It's very moldable, okay? You don't have to worry about chasing the powder. Now, if the powder is still runny, you're gonna lose a lot of apex. The nail is gonna be really, really flat. And you don't wanna have a flat nail because it's not gonna be strong. It will break, I promise you. Especially if the powder is thin and you don't have a lot of apex and the nail is long, it will break, I promise you, if you don't have that much apex, okay? So if the powder and liquid ratio is very runny, it is really hard to build an apex, okay? That's only if you have a very long nails, okay? There we go. So here we go, guys. Now I show you guys the curvature of the brush, okay? And then also the curvature of the brush will match the curvature of the cuticle. And I'm showing you too because I want to show you this, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna grab that bead. Here we go. And guess what? Watch this, guys. It's very important. Okay? I'm gonna match that curvature of my cuticle to the curvature of my brush. You see that? You don't have to do too much, and you can just push that a little bit right there and then blend the rest in. There you go. So you guys don't have to do too much. All you have to do is match the curvature of the brush to the curvature of the cuticle, okay? There we go. So that way you can get into the cuticle as close as you can. Okay, not a lot, not a lot of people like that gap in a cuticle. Okay, when you get your nails done, nobody wants to look like they need a fill in right away after you get your nails done. Okay.